Welcome to a new week of SAT TV News. I'm Alicia George. We are happy that you could have joined us. In our top stories, Independence celebrations officially open. FIFA officials pleased with progress in Goal 2 project. From the region, chikungunya virus outbreak in Jamaica takes toll on education system. And internationally, Mexican students missing after protest in Iguala. In sport, Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers register first win in Lime Premier League. Details of these and other stories will follow right after the break. Welcome back. The Independence season officially opened on Friday with a grand ceremony at the Winter Park Sports Stadium. This year, Dominica is celebrating 36 years of political independence under the theme, Our Nation, Our Responsibility. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Minister for Culture, Youth and Sports, Honorable Justina Charles, explained the purpose of the theme.
This year's independence theme, Our Country, Our Responsibility, is very appropriate. The theme speaks to our role, our duty, our responsibility as individuals, as family, and as citizens of our nation.
In keeping with the theme, Chairman of the Independence Committee, Raymond Lawrence, added that it is the responsibility of every Dominican to develop this country.
And all of us, no matter what field of work we're in, and no matter what part of Dominica we're from, have a responsibility to help build and develop Dominica. So we should always strive towards greater cooperation and collaboration in our ongoing efforts at both community and nation building.
Meanwhile, Acting Prime Minister Honorable Ambrose George boasted of the island's perseverance despite the unrelenting challenges.
One can conclude without any hesitation that we as a people and the country have progressed tremendously. And that progress did not come without challenges. Challenges in many forms and in many respects.
The acting Prime Minister said he is proud of the island's achievements over the years. So far, activities including National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving, National Rally for Older Persons, cultural competitions in Atkinson, Portsmouth and Granby, and the Titui Festival in Layu have been hosted as part of the 2014 calendar of independence activities. Activities will continue this weekend. Howard McIntosh, FIFA Development Officer for the Eastern Caribbean, says he is satisfied with the progress thus far on the construction of the Dominica Football Association's DFA Goal 2 project at Stock Farm. The first phase of the project, being undertaken by Jazz Sales and Services, will consist of sitting accommodation, players' dressing room, an office, and a room for match officials. The entire perimeter of the facility will also be fenced.
I must indicate immediately that I'm also very pleasantly surprised with what's happening with the Goal project. As Gerard mentioned earlier, we had an extensive on-site meeting yesterday, and the purpose of that was to not only view the site but discuss the possibilities.
McIntosh said it is expected that the first phase of this project will be in the final stages of completion by year end. Meanwhile, manager of Jazz Sales and Services Steve Astefan said they are on schedule for the completion date of December 1st, 2014.
The division walls are in, all the rough plumbing is in, the seats are in. By the end of the week, all block work will be done. By the week after that, all concrete works will be done. By October 30th, we want the ceiling done. And November, we'll be installing fixtures and light fixtures and plumbing fixtures.
Currently, they have completed the public washrooms, 2 dressing rooms, a referee's quarter and an office, and the public stands for seating. The first phase of the project will accommodate 2,000 patrons. However, when fully completed, it will have the capacity of 3,000.
I can see that the forward look of football in Dominica right now is to make sure that all fields are upgraded. So when you get to Stock Farm, you will have a field that is dedicated to training of the national team and having games, especially in the Roseau area, and high-level games. And I believe it's a great venue. You have great views. There's allowances made now for lighting for the future. You understand? So they're looking down the road. There's also future discussions right now about putting up a hostel on the next site to house 25 to 30 players. You understand? If FIFA would give the money today, we'd have it tomorrow, but it's not like that. They give it in phases.
Etienne said with this new facility, the standard of football is expected to be enhanced since most of the matches played under the DFA will be staged there. The project is estimated to cost over US $500,000. On Monday, several stakeholders and partners gathered at the Fort Young Hotel to head discussions on ways to increase the capability of regional agricultural development organizations to address the development needs of smallholder agriculture. The kickoff event of the Agriculture Policy Program, APP, was organized by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, in collaboration with the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, as efforts continue to revive the agriculture sector within the Caribbean and the Pacific. Ken Coppell, technical specialist at ICA Dominica, noted the similarities in agricultural challenges within the Caribbean.
Agricultural production in the Caribbean and Pacific countries faces similar challenges, including issues of climate change, natural disasters, high food prices, small internal markets, and resilience on a few export commodities.
Coppell said the overall objective of the APP is to promote the development of smallholders by providing a platform for integration into local, regional, and international markets. The project is expected to be completed within 45 months with an allocated budget of €8.9 for the Caribbean. According to Coppell, CARICOM, CARDI, and ICA will all play a role in implementing this policy.
There are three major components of the APP. Policy and strategy, which will be led by CARICOM, and its focus is on the action that supports and enabling an efficient national and coordinated regional policy environment. Applied research, which is led by CARDI, focuses on building human capacity, improving stock of genetic material, and transforming to climate-smart agricultural systems. And the third component is enterprise development, led by ICA, focused on building capacities, instigating networking, enabling effective engagement with markets, and supporting creation of enabling environment for small producers and entrepreneurs.
Meanwhile, Harold Gist, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, told the gathering that the ministry has already begun activities geared towards increasing agricultural production and realizing growth in the economy.
Agriculture still has the greatest potential in terms of contribution to GDP, income generation, provision of employment, sustenance of rural livelihoods, provision of social stability in our various communities, food and nutrition security, generation of foreign exchange, and poverty reduction.
Gist mentioned that the ministry is, however, faced with numerous challenges. The Agriculture Policy Program will focus on priority commodities, including roots and tubers livestock, musa, vegetables, fruits, minimal processed and cottage products, as well as alternative agricultural systems. Many diabetics are of the view that there are certain foods they can and cannot eat. However, this myth has been dispelled by Rebecca Euseb, Vice President of the Dominica Diabetes Association, who says diabetics can eat any food, however, in small proportions. Euseb, who recently spoke at a health fair as part of Caribbean Wellness Day activities, said diabetics must be aware that wellness begins with good eating.
People ask whether it's just for persons with diabetes alone. But healthy eating is for everybody to prevent diabetes, to help control diabetes. And not only that, we have the other non-communicable diseases such as obesity. We are hoping that as a result of persons viewing our exhibits, that they will be more conscious of what foods they can eat and in what proportion in order to prevent diabetes, in order to prevent obesity, in order to control their blood sugar.
She noted diabetics must avoid high-calorie foods. However, they can't eat all other foods as a non-diabetic person can consume.
For example, the processed foods such as the soft drinks, the sugar, we'll ask them not to partake of it unless they do so with the knowledge that when they take in these extra sugars, that they take it as part of their meal. We have foods that are high in caloric content, meaning foods that give high sugar and foods that are low in sugar. We have a variety of ground provisions of foods from the staple groups. We have, that includes rice, pasta, and as I said before, the ground provisions, the bananas, etc. We have foods from the fruits and vegetables, we have from the meats.
Yusef said we all need to eat healthy and in the right proportions, which is dependent on one's body size, level of physical activity, and health status. She added eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, preferably raw, in addition to drinking large amounts of water, eating low-calorie foods, and engaging in regular physical activity will prove to be very beneficial to an individual's health. When we return, the court to decide on matter involving Leonard Papi Baptiste. Welcome back. Police Public Relations Officer Claude Wicks says the court will decide in the matter involving Leonard Papi Baptiste, who was arrested and slapped with 6 charges following an incident with a police officer while driving his personal vehicle on the morning of Wednesday, September 24th.
That conflict, if you like, began on Hillsborough Street and moved right across to the Portsmouth bus stop. That's on the West Bridge on Riverbank. A situation arose where he allegedly breached the traffic rules or regulations, and he was approached by the police officer. And you expect the police officer to do what he has to do and approach Papi. As such, he was arrested and taken to police headquarters, where he was charged with summary and traffic-related offences like battery and other offences.
However, in his version of the incident, Baptiste said he stopped near the financial center to drop someone off and then was approached by a police officer who asked him to move, which he did immediately. He said while driving he heard a horn blowing, but proceeded to the Salisbury bus stop where the police officer approached him, instructing him to get on the side of the road and get out of the car as he is under arrest. Baptiste said the officer took his car keys, pulled him out of his car by his neck, and then dragged him across a drain, which injured him.
We heard of allegations that he made where he was brutalized by the police or abuse of force. That too, since that is so, would have to be dealt with in the court of law. I'm sure that would be brought up. You will ask me, well, Mr. Wicks, these allegations are being done with or being said or spewed with regular frequency. But at the end of the day, any allegations made against the police, namely for abuse of power or battery or any kind of alleged violence, is not always the best thing to hear. Remember, I said earlier on, we are all Dominicans, and we don't expect that. We are entitled by law to use force in these circumstances.
During his court appearance on Friday, Baptiste pleaded not guilty to 4 traffic violation charges during the incident and also pleaded not guilty to refusing to give his name and address, a charge he was slapped with in August of this year. The trial for the case has been set for February 27, 2015, while disclosure must be submitted on or before January 15, 2015. The charges of battery on a police officer and resisting arrest were left to be read at a later date. Baptiste is being represented by attorney David Bruni. The annual Layu TTV Festival began on a high note this year, with great weather to complement the activities. Every year since 2007, the residents of Layu have hosted TTV festivals on the last Sunday in September as part of activities for World Rivers Day. Coincidentally, the festival takes place during the country's independence celebration. TTV is a translucent, tiny, guppy-sized fish which arrives in the Caribbean Sea by the hundreds on the 4th day after the last lunar quarter every month. On Sunday, fish lovers and partygoers came out in large numbers to support the event.
TTV Festival is the biggest community festival, the biggest family event at any given time of the year in Dominica. You know, it's a perfect opportunity for families to come and have a good time. You know, the atmosphere creates tranquility. It's a non-violent area, so you know you can feel safe with your kids around. So that's the good thing about the TTV Festival, and we need more things like that in our community.
Layou is located at the mouth of Dominica's longest river, the Layou River, and is well positioned for the natural phenomenon that brings thousands of small fish right to its bank each month. The day of excitement included various dishes made with titiwi, sports competitions, and music from popular artists and bands. This has been the local segment of the news.